aka Geeks.
Hey everybody, welcome to AKA Geeks. This is real news. I'm your host Sean. Let's get right into it, you guys. First off, this news broke today. Tom Hardy has been cast as none other than Eddie Brock, otherwise known as Venom. He's going to star in Sony's Venom movie, which is going to be their own start to their own Spider-Man universe. Now, I say Spider-Man universe, but at the same time, it might not be a Spider-Man universe, it might be a Venom universe, and it might use characters from Spider-Man universe in there. There's nothing that's been stated in concrete. Because we have Spider-Man, he's still with Sony, but he's in the MCU. It's a total possibility that Spider-Man can be in his film, in the Venom movie, but nothing's been stated, and I think that that would be reckless in a sense if Sony did it without consulting Marvel, without seeing how this would play out in the long run. I'm very excited for Tom Hardy to play Venom, to play Eddie Brock. I think he could definitely bring some gravitas to the character. He's a great actor. He's very physical, even though he's not a big guy. He bulked up when he played Bane, and the dude's only 5'8", and they made him look like he was huge with camera angles and things like that. I think he wore stilts at one point, but he got really big for that. If he can get on a great workout plan and get into that kind of shape where he doesn't need to be super huge but have some nice bulkiness to him, that'd be great. He has stated previously, and I remember speaking about this in one of my episodes, is that he says that this stuff it takes a toll on his body. This does damage to him, going up and down in weight, preparing for these types of roles. And then there was the other role where he was playing the gangster, where he gained a lot of weight and he had a gut, but he still did nothing but heavy workouts. So he had mass and a gut. The movie will also be directed by Zombieland's Ruben Fleischer. So I'm very much anticipating this now with this announcement. Just with his credibility as an actor, I'm very happy for this. I want to see more of who they're going to add to the mix and where the storyline is going to follow and whether or not they're going to include Spider-Man. Michael Fassbender, he plays Magneto. He was on a podcast recently with Josh Horowitz for MTV, and the question came up if he was going to be in the Dark Phoenix, X-Men: The Dark Phoenix, that was recently announced. He said, yeah, probably, likely. So what does this mean? Is he going to return? I would like to see Fassbender return as Magneto. Also, in another interview with CinemaBlend, producer Hutch Parker was asked if Jennifer Lawrence was going to be in the Dark Phoenix as well, and he responded with, the story that they're working on right now involves that original group and the younger people. So he stopped short of saying yes, she would be in there, or yes, that Fassbender would be in there, and the third member of that trio would be James McAvoy. He stopped short of saying any of them would be in there, but they are working on a story that includes them. They all stated after Apocalypse that either all of them would come back or none of them would come back because they were all done with their contracts. I like where this is going with what Fassbender's doing. I do believe, though, at the same time, he is trying not to burn bridges. So he's saying positive remarks, something that could always be changed. Now, regarding Jennifer Lawrence, she didn't do such a great job with X-Men Apocalypse. A lot of people say she phoned it in. I don't think she did a great job in it. I'm not gonna say that she phoned it in. I just don't think she did a great job with the direction of her character. James McAvoy, I haven't heard him say anything, so this is still up in the air. But I hope they come back. I definitely hope that they include the younger mutants. I have so many storylines that I hope that they do. But the biggest thing I hope about this film, The Dark Phoenix, is that they actually go with Bryan Singer. I know he had a little step off with Apocalypse, but I want to see what he had in his mind, what he envisioned with the original Dark Phoenix saga that he wanted to have for X-Men 3 and X-Men 4 back, the original X-Men series. So I definitely am happy with these rumors, and hopefully they come to fruition. And in the last bit of comic book news, Perception co-founder Jeremy Lasky. Perception is the company that does the opening intro for the Marvel Studios films, where it does all the stuff and Marvel Studios comes across the front. He had a phone interview with Kevin Feige, and I don't know how much of this is true. I don't know why this would be said in this interview with this person. He's not a media outlet or anything, unless he's just spilling the beans on a conversation and not a quote-unquote interview. I know I just did air quotes there, don't hate me. But in this phone interview he did with Kevin Feige essentially expressed to him that they want to get all their characters back under the Marvel umbrella. I definitely think that this is real. I think that Kevin Feige wants this to happen. But at the same time, is it the best possible thing? I do think that having some separation between all the characters, having Fox have some with the X-Men characters, having Sony have some with the Spider-Man universe, I think this is a good thing to have that separation because you have different takes on these universes, these worlds. I like that. Now, if they were all as under Marvel, you would have a much more condensed world. It would not be so spread out there. You wouldn't have so many different stories that could go so many different ways. But also the other thing is that you wouldn't get as many movies because Marvel wouldn't be putting out 6 movies every single year. They'd be putting out this what they're doing right now, 3 or 2, whatever the case is. There'll be less movies. There'll be a condensed world. So as much as I do believe that Kevin Feige actually feels this way, I don't know how true this is in the sense that it happened in a phone interview. Yeah, air quotes. I definitely think this is weird for this to come out of a conversation on a phone with somebody that you actually have a working business relationship with at the moment. So we'll see how true this is, if Feige actually comes out to denounce this or to confirm it. All right, now a little bit of casting news. Zac Efron has signed on to be Ted Bundy in the Ted Bundy biopic. Or biopic, whatever you want to call it. This is interesting. I like what Zac Efron's been doing since his High School Musical days, I guess you could say. He's been taking on more of a comedic role and trying to age himself up to get away from that high school image. He's been doing these R-rated comedies with the Neighbors and now Baywatch, and I'm looking forward to this. I think he has some chops there to be a good actor, and I think this could be his chance to show a different side of him. It might have more weight than what he did last year, I think it was, with We're All Your Friends, where that one just, bombed. This one could have something more to tell, and I think that this is a good choice by him. Other casting news is that Blake Lively has been cast to star in the film Bruised. This is about a woman who's working 2 jobs trying to keep her family together, working very hard, and she's also a disgraced MMA fighter. But in this point in this movie in her life, she has to go back into the ring to try to get redemption. I like the sound of this. I like Blake Lively as an actor. I'm very interested in this, and if they can get a great director for this film, I'm all for this. I'm really looking forward to this film to see what it can do. Alright guys, so now on to the trailer segment this week. There were a bunch of trailers and featurettes that caught my attention. First off is the final, the War for the Planet of the Apes, the final trailer. This one was a really good trailer. I definitely liked it. It was concise. It was not all over the place. It felt more like it's trying to get you from beginning to end. I like it a lot. I'm ready for this film. The films have only increased in quality, so I'm very, very much excited for this film. Next up was the final Mummy trailer, and this one again as well, it toned some things down. It used I think it was one song throughout the whole trailer, and it kept going forward. So I was really interested in this. It also showed a little bit of the comedic side, some of the one-liners that might be in the film, because they could always cut them. That might be in the film when Tom Cruise is getting kicked in the face, and he's telling her, "Hey, that's my face," and she's trying to kick the mummy, trying to kill him. There also was a featurette for the Mummy, and this one has some interviews with Russell Crowe and Tom Cruise talking about their characters. And in the end of the featurette, they also show Russell Crowe's character, Dr. Jekyll, kind of turning to Mr. Hyde. They don't give us very much time to look at it though. It's very simple, simplistic, and I don't know if that's an entire turn for him, but I'm excited to see where that's gonna go and how they're connecting these franchises. I'm really interested in this film as well. Next up is the Transformers The Last Night International trailer. I guess I've been talking a lot of smack about this. It's a decent trailer. It's got some interesting parts in it. One thing that I thought was very interesting is that Bumblebee gets torn apart in the trailer, and then he just kind of magnetizes himself back together. He doesn't die. He just kind of comes back together. So that was interesting. How come that hasn't been there previously? I don't know. So go check that one out for the kids, I guess. Next up is the House Red Band trailer starring Amy Poehler and Will Ferrell. This one, it looks interesting. I laugh at some of the points in the trailer and in the previous trailer. I get the idea of it. I don't really need any more trailers, but I'm there. I'm interested in it. I'm maybe not first weekend kind of interested into it, but I'm interested in it. One point in the trailer, which I was laughing my ass off last time, I still laugh this time, is when they cut off the finger of the guy in the basement. And more so, it's not the finger part, because the finger looks terrible because they use a really fake looking hand, and it's just terrible. Even where the finger is cut off, it's like gushing blood, and it looks fake. There's no bone or anything. It just doesn't look good. But then the line after that, where they're talking and Rafi from The League is there, I forget his name, and what he does, that had me rolling. So I am interested in this film, not first weekend interested, but I'm interested in this one. And last but not least, the battle of the sexes. This trailer is regarding the movie that surrounds the famous tennis matches of Billie Jean King and Bobby Riggs. The trailer looks very, very fun and interesting. I like what Steve Carell's doing. I think he totally is just there in that character. And what Emma Stone is doing as Billie Jean King, I love it. I don't see, it's hard to see Emma Stone there, you know, and so I really like it so far. The trailer, something about the trailer, the quality of it threw me off a little bit towards the end. There was something that was said, and the way that they used a cut in the trailer, you can't even hear what she's saying, but it was almost like it was trying to be an emphatic point, and I was like, I don't know what just was said. So the trailer, I'm happy for the trailer coming out. I think the trailer could use some work to be a more polished trailer, but as a reflection of the movie, it made me really excited. I'm even more excited than I was previously. Alright guys, now on to the last segment of the day, the in-theaters segment. This week in theaters, there's only really one film that has my interest. It's Alien Covenant. This one is the sequel to Prometheus and the prequel to all the Alien films. And I'm really excited for this one because with this one they're going back more towards the Alien vein of the movies. But they're continuing with all the lore that they're trying to build with Prometheus. So I like that about this franchise, this whole series. So I'm very, very, very much interested in this. I want to see where the movie ends and where to go from there. If you are going to go see this film, I've been recommended by people that I definitely trust in the industry to go watch the prologues. There's 2 prologues right now. One of them gives you more information about David and the main character, I forget her name, from Prometheus, and the other one talks about this cast before they set out. So definitely excited about this film, definitely want to see it this weekend. Don't know if I'll be able to, but yeah. Alright guys, so that's it for this week's episode of Real News. Remember to click the like, share, subscribe buttons down below. Leave your comments, questions, suggestions in the comment section. Let's have a great conversation about all the topics I discussed today, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
aka Geeks.